Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I'm the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last we left off, we opened up with Kathy and the meeting of the Nosferatu as they discussed whether or not to let the Sabbat Bishop have access to the tunnels underneath Salem, because he is in fact a Nosferatu, and because of the whole clan before sect mentality that the Nosferatu have been pushing. They decided to bring it up to a vote, and it was a majority vote to not let him use the tunnels. We got to see a couple of Nosferatu in the city. We got to see Tulip again. We also got to see Teddy and his cats. We got to see that in the Greyhound station of Salem, there is a storage room labeled number 23 that leads down to the abandoned subway station. But we jump to Friday and the arrival of Otis King at the club. We got to see that Barnaby showed up with Geraldine Birmingham and kind of excused himself from being around Ivory's presence to be with his sire. We got to see a host of familiar faces, and we got to see Ivory kind of take Otis aside to explain what they found out about the ghouls and the memory loss, and they learned that Coulson was a mage in his living days. But they also got a list of the domains as Otis had arranged. And then their meeting was cut short when Billy let them know that their visitor was there, and they got to meet Franklin, or Frankie, as he likes to go by, who is the Cult of Ecstasy member from the local Awakened in the town, in the city. A bit of a punk rocker from the looks of things, but good enough to take his cross earring off and replace it with an ankh instead, so as not to offend anyone. They saw him take a couple of shots, write down the alchemical symbol for copper with his finger on the bar, and then use his heightened sense to take a look at the club and see that there were in fact remnants, residue of quintessence still around the club. And he mentioned that it was above his pay grade, and that there are others in the city that are able to handle Restless and things like that, but that this was definitely not something haphazard. This was a premeditated situation. Someone planned to have done this to the club. After he left, Billy stepped over and told them about the situation downstairs, where they got to see that Grant Reynolds had showed up, taking advantage of the Elysium rules to show off his new chowder, a young girl by the name of Alice. And he let them know that him and the bishop were at odds with Tucker White and his pack, and that anything that they were doing has not been sanctioned by the Sabbat. He left after being asked to leave, and they realized that there was a group that had been set up outside to protest, who were probably incited to be there mostly to be fed to the shovelheads that were dropped off in front of the club, the Dance Nocturne. Otis sent Sheriff Green and his whips after them. They could see in the video afterwards that 6 of the protesters have been killed by the shovelheads, and we left off with them cleaning up after the incident. So we're going to hop over to Monday, because I'm assuming there's nothing pressing going on. Hello, everybody. Sorry. Where do we find Ivory? Does she sleep at the club? Does she have an apartment?
She has an apartment.
Okay.
She can sleep at the club, but most of the time she goes to an apartment.
Okay.
Which not even her coterie knows where it is.
Yeah.
Billy knows.
Yep.
But nobody else.
And as you stir from your day sleep, you will hear the jingling of keys. It's a very nervous kind of little plopping up and down of the keys. What does Ivory's room look like in her apartment?
Well, it's dark,
Mm-hmm.
but it is well appointed in a very classy motif.
Okay. She is a
Whites and
toreador.
golds. Yes. And it's very gilded and beautiful.
Okay. And once you stir, Billy comes over, and the first thing he does is offer his wrist, as is tradition. So if you need it, he is there for a peck off. But I don't think.
I was at Hunger too, but I assume during the weekend she probably.
You could have hunted for that to bring it down to 1.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
not a problem.
She would have wanted to blow off some steam anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I bet.
But she will thank him, but no.
How long can you be ready, ma'am? I got called a little bit ago. Benjamin's been dealing with things at the club.
Oh, okay. Give me a few moments. I'm almost ready.
Okay, and he'll wait outside for you. What does the rest of the apartment look like? Does it have the same motif, or is it like each
Probably.
room? Okay.
It's. I mean, she has money, so it is well appointed. Even has stuff in the kitchen, and Billy occasionally spends the night, so having there some things for him there. But she, the 40s motif of Grand Hollywood is a lot of what she feels comfortable with.
He calls out from the other room. You want me to call the others, or you want to take a look at what's going on first?
What does it have to do with? Do you know?
Benjamin said it was with the, and I quote, the Hobbit people.
Well, if I don't call Karl, he will be very upset if it's about magic. And you might as well call Kathy too, if you can get a hold of her.
No. Yeah, if not her, I can definitely get a hold of one of the Malkavians. And Karl will get a phone call to meet at the club. And a clandestine note will find its way to Kathy to meet at the club.
I would like to point out that since her time, Kathy has developed a little phone somewhere in her house with her and Teddy.
Okay. I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to assume, so.
Then that's what would have been called.
Yes.
Ivory will be the first one to arrive, and she will see that there is a group of 6 people just kind of packing up their things while the bartenders and the waiters and whatnot are going through their typical opening up procedures. But Benjamin will come over to you. Ma'am, they've been here since noon.
And they are
members that are associated with Franklin. I believe his name is Franklin Stone.
yes.
He was here on Friday.
Yes. So did they take care of the little problem?
They have refused to speak to me, as is I have been considered beneath their attention since I don't know what's happening. But it's she, and he'll point out to a woman. She's the one in charge.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, and she would have asked Benjamin to do this earlier in the weekend. Did you find out anything about who was driving that dump truck or where they got it?
I have some information. I'm waiting for confirmation from some of my recently acquired contacts in the city.
Thank you.
Of course. And he'll lead you
And-
over, and he'll introduce you to Bianca Holliver.
Miss Holliver, I'm
She-
Ivory Larson. I'm the owner of this club.
Ah, excellent. Thank you. Bianca, it's fine. I don't subscribe to titles or surnames or anything like that. How long have you had this establishment, Miss Larson, if I may ask?
Not that long. I think she bought it within the year. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I have my time. Yeah, I bought it last year.
Has it been the first interaction of Restless that you've dealt with?
There was an altercation earlier in the year. With something. I don't know much about that. But
All right. I'm just asking to see how long this tear might have been here. I know that Frankie came by and told you that this was not a random occurrence, that this was something that somebody went to great lengths to do to your establishment.
yes, he did. That is concerning.
I have done the best that I can to seal up this tear into the underworld. So whatever has escaped is still lingering around, but there will be no more incursions into your establishment, from what I can assure you.
All right. Well, that's good to know. But what can we do about what is lingering?
Not much, per se. Most Restless just want to take in the sites that they no longer have access to.
Well, it seems that there was a mortal influencing them. Do we know anything about that?
Without any kind of visual representation, I don't know what good I can be. I have some ability to view events that have transpired. In this kind of establishment, given the people that are surrounding us, it would be detrimental to my well-being to try that out in the open as such.
Yes, your associate, Frankie, explained some of that.
What a peach.
What is she like?
She is kind of middle height, about 5'6", 5'7". She is lithe. She has a kind of auburn bob, hazel eyes. Dressed well. Not like she's going out, but definitely like somebody who has not been at this since noon.
Bianca. We don't want any kind of trouble in this club, and I'm not sure what to do in this instance to make it safe.
I haven't
People
had
are losing their memories. That's not good.
right. I haven't had any interactions with many of your kind, but I do know that Silas has talked about there being some kind of blood source of variety of yours. Maybe they could do something.
I was under the impression that you all would take care of your own. Is that not true?
It is true. Do you have a safe space that I could practice in? Do you have videos of that night in question? Do you have anything that I could use as a focus, perhaps, to help
I
me
do.
hone
Oh.
in?
Please join me.
Okay.
And she'll head over. Is Benjamin still around?
Yep.
Benjamin, can you bring up the tapes of the nights in question?
Of course, ma'am. And he'll go into the little office, bring up the...
She'll take her into the security room.
Yep. At this point, you'll see that Karl has arrived. You'll see him in the cameras. And Bianca kind of looks around. She's like, oh, I barely noticed any of these camera angles. These are A+. Sneaky, almost.
Benjamin's very good.
No.
We've added more since this has happened too, so.
Oh, good, smart. And he'll play he'll start playing the tape for her, and she just kind of leans over and hits the fast forward button, just lets it go. By the end of the tape,
Ivory will go over to the door and tell Billy to go let Karl know that she's upstairs.
Yep.
And watch out for Kathy.
By the end of the video, she kind of nods. He has this... Benjamin has this perplexed look, like, how does this help? But she kind of looks at you, Ivory. Could I perhaps go and stand where these cameras are? Just so I can get a lower perspective.
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent. And Benjamin takes her out, and you and Karl can catch up while he's showing her about.
Hey.
So what's going on?
Evidently she has taken care of the little rip that we had in our between worlds.
Interesting.
Yeah, and now she's looking to see if she can figure out who was behind all of this.
Like the actual spirit, or...
Well, the person behind the spirit. I mean, I don't know that the spirit matters as much. I guess. But if there's a human directing it.
Or other. Giovanni.
Well, I assume some sort of mage.
There's so many choices.
Well, that's what Frankie said anyway. So.
Frankie said he thinks there's another mage behind it.
That's what he implied anyway. He seemed to think that there was a mage directing the spirit to take the memories as payment for doing something for him. I don't know. So.
Okay.
You'll see Kathy on the cameras walking up.
So
I'm gonna go follow the mage around.
I thought you'd want to be here for this.
So I go find the mage.
Okay.
Kathy.
Yeah, you'll see that Benjamin's with her. And after a moment, she comes back to the office, just as Kathy's kind of walking into the office. So Kathy will see this new face. Doesn't smell kindred-like. There's perfume there. There's life.
Kathy looks around and goes, I didn't know we were having a party? Who's the new person?
This is Bianca, a associate of Frankie's.
Holds up her hand. Miss Larson, could I trouble you for your ladies' room?
Of course. And she will show her where it is.
Yep.
Why is Bethany here? She looks around.
Bianca. But she closed the rift that was opened.
Does she have any idea who started the rift?
Well, you did.
No one knows that.
Ivory was there. She has an idea.
I plead the fifth. I did nothing wrong. I was simply enjoying tea.
Well, you didn't know. And you didn't technically do it, but well, whenever that altercation happened last fall with the spirits is what seems to have opened that rift, and she has closed it, but now she's looking to see if she can find out who's controlling the spirits to take the memories of people.
Did we find out who the spirit is?
No. I don't know that we would. Is that important?
No. Not. She takes out her cat. Not at all.
Okay. We wouldn't have anything to, I forget, does Carl know about your bro? Sure. I don't think so.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't
No one
know.
really knows about it.
I don't think we ever.
Well, Ivory was there.
I think you two had an interaction, but I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then I wouldn't have said anything. Besides. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they told Carl.
Sorry, Carl.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. All right. Well,
But that would be one less thing on the list.
Mhm.
If we could get this taken care of. Any thoughts on what to do about what happened on Friday with the shovelheads?
how's the media handling that? Or how are you handling that, I guess, so far?
Well, we've done it down to gang fights.
Okay.
But
I mean, that was a direct assault. How's the? I think the prince needs to be on this.
Yeah, he was going to do that. Now, Ivory would have sent a message to Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, not on the phone.
Sure.
About that. That's how they were going to spin this.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has told some of the free souls to kind of hang around, so they're accessible to you, and they'll get the message across to him.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yep. Yeah. There's always at least one member of the free souls at the club at night.
Okay, and she's aware of who that is?
Yeah, they have their colors.
Okay.
They openly wear their cuts.
Okay.
I'm trying to be subtle.
Yeah. No. It's a club atmosphere. Like, they'll sit at the corner of the bar and just drink. Yeah.
Rough life.
Yeah. If they make out with somebody, they make out with somebody. But Bianca comes out of the bathroom and you can see that she's wiping away some blood from her nose.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it's just you given the situation that all of you are in, and given the situation that my kind are in, we're very different when it comes to using our abilities, and when we push too hard, reality pushes back.
I've heard is a bitch.
But I do have some information for you if you
Please.
Very interesting.
So,
And she'll take her into the office.
and she'll take a moment and she'll kind of let out a sigh. Ms. Larson, it'll be easier for me to show you
Oh,
than to explain what I saw, but that would require, one, your consent, and two, a comfortable place for both of us.
consent for what?
For me to give you the visions that I saw.
Oh. You mean show me in my mind?
You know, the less you say out loud, the easier it is for me to practice.
I volunteer.
I was gonna volunteer as tribute. Be quiet.
I volunteer. And like Kathy walks up, she's like, "You can show me." She puts out her hands.
Everybody's like
feeling I
throwing
have-
themselves at the mage.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm the reason why half these problems are happening anyway.
And Bianca will look at Ivory. Is that all right? I just figured I'd show you since this is your establishment.
Can you do multiples?
It is
If he says
Kathy,
that out loud, I'd be like, I'll do multiples with you. Let's go.
It multiples is within my limitations.
we wouldn't want to push you too far.
It's pushing, sure. What would I be getting in return? This kind of push.
What do
What
you
do you
need?
want?
I don't know.
Is money too crass?
I mean, I'll never turn down free cash. But I do have my own job, so I think I can take care of myself. Is a favor too crass?
Depends on the favor.
Well, I don't have anything. I can guarantee that I will not call on you and your kind to take out anything like a marauder or a nefandus. I know that you are not
I would hope
equipped for that,
Twitch.
but you have access to a club. I don't know what your associates can do, but I'm assuming that if they are as involved as you are in the community, then maybe some kind of event, a night, something like Franklin has members of his tradition that will often come into town on their way to Portland or Seattle, and it might behoove us to have a place that we can feel safe in.
Ah, I see. Yes, I think we could do that.
All right.
This place might be uniquely suited.
Sure. And
We do have this upstairs area that is a place where you can have private affairs.
all right. And we will let you know when we
I would hope so.
are going to be needing this favor called in, but we will also let you know that we will need at least a majority of the day to prepare it for that kind of event. We like to make sure that our places are
Spooktacular.
the word I would use is obfuscated from reality.
Oh, well, that's something I work in, so we're good.
They're talking on a bit of grander scale, but yes.
I could be grand.
So, and she would just point.
Why don't you show me?
All right. And she will motion for the chairs that are there.
Yeah, there's a couch if that
Yep.
would be better.
Sure. And she sits with one leg up, and she very gently will hold her hands out to you, and then one last time with your permission, and she'll put her hands on your actual head. Carl
I give my
and
permission.
good, because if you had fortitude, I would have to ask you to roll if you're gonna fight it.
I do have fortitude, but not.
We
of
do
the
have-
mind.
I do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fight it though, but
I'm not gonna
I have
fight it.
fortitude of mind.
Carl and Kathy will see that Bianca's head kind of rolls back. Her hands stay straightened out, and they kind of lock. Even when she's moving, her arms stay her hands at least stay clamped onto Ivory's head. It's not painful. It's just the connection is constant. And Carl isn't sure because you're not alive and you don't have an avatar. But there is a lot of magic being thrown around in this place.
I was just gonna ask, like, if I open up my aspects and thaumaturgical senses kind of shit.
You will go blind.
Okay.
There
Gotcha.
will be waves of color and resonance, and it will be overwhelming. Excuse me.
So when we come out
have
of
to,
this, Carl's on the floor. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Just but
Magic.
you will see the night in question, and you'll start to see it from the angles of your camera. First one camera, then another, and although it begins kind of grainy and very Betamax level of what's it called? Visual representation, like this is lower than like 480p. It will softly and very slowly transition into an actual memory of lifelike proportions. And you will see that there is that same person that you saw that had no reflection. And this time you will actually get to see that person. It is a woman. There is a pantsuit that she's wearing, very well to do. There is this kind of in charge vibe that she gives off. She has a long ponytail of blonde hair. She has greenish hazel eyes, thin, kind of athletic, kind of swimmer's body, and it looks like she's trying to avoid reflective surfaces. Like she's constantly looking, and every time that she sees something reflective, she makes a motion to move away from it. She's in the company of a gentleman who is dressed in kind of a business casual look. It's a dress shirt with sleeves that are rolled up, a full Windsor knot on his tie, and an open 4-button vest that matches his slacks, and he has dress shoes on. His hair is a slicked back mop of black with spider webs of gray running through it, and his light brown eyes almost make you feel like you're looking at Barnaby, like there's a predator there that isn't seen in his face. But she will pull you back once she kind of isolates the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll let go of your head, bring her hands back. Now, the woman I don't know, but that gentleman is someone that has been a problem for us here in the city. He was trained and has since turned against the traditions, but his name is Gerald Greaves.
How
Gerald.
do I know that name? I know that
I will be dealing with him and taking his existence to the Council of Nine. So just know that we will take over that side of this situation.
What about the woman? Could you tell
I don't know who
if
that
she's one of
is.
yours?
She's not part of our group. Whatever she is, she's not alive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well. Huh. I'm sure Ivory doesn't know who she is.
No, first time you see her.
Okay.
would I know who she is?
Probably not. But
Thank you.
yeah, she gets up, and you see that she wobbles a little bit.
Do you need something?
No.
Can I get you anything?
No, I'm all right. It's a side effect of what we do, and you'll see that along her arm, bruises will appear like someone was grabbing her arm. Very defensive like wounds will appear on her arms, and she just sorry, like I said, when you push against reality, reality pushes back. These are, and she'll pull her sleeves down. Old wounds.
Well, thank you for your help, and let me know when you need a space.
Perfect. Thank you very much for everything.
Fascinating.
If I could be informed of when this is taken care of.
Of course.
On your end?
I'll make sure that either myself or Frankie comes by. He had nothing but good things to say about this establishment, so.
Oh, glad to hear it.
Yeah, I'll be like, and always, if you have a need for non-pushback magic, I guess.
Magic with a K.
Yeah, magic with a K versus our brand.
Right. Like I said, I don't know what the equivalent that the vampires have developed, and I hope I'm not using that term reductively or offensively. But
no.
It's better than what I hear some of the others say about your kind. So,
well, just like people, there are good ones and bad ones.
ain't that the truth? But
I believe that's in every society.
Yep. And she gets her footing under her. She's like, "All right, I think I'm good now. Thank you for everything, Miss Larson."
Yes,
Sir?
if I need to get in contact with you, how?
She pulls out a business card.
Number?
Yeah, she pulls out a business card.
Yeah, she will exchange.
But she's a director of a funeral home.
Cute.
Those of you that know Mage know exactly what tradition she is.
Yep.
But she shakes everyone's hands and then exits, takes her mages with her.
Okay. So Ivory will then describe the woman and the man so that if they see him, and she will also send out a report to all of her people to watch out for these people.
Okay.
But do you guys recognize those descriptions?
Oh, damn, dude.
No. Luckily, Benjamin has connections to the police, so he'll have a sketch artist come in.
Okay.
So you'll have that. You'll have a drawing of both of them within the hour.
Excellent.
That was fascinating. I'm glad I didn't go blind.
That was something, that's for sure.
I call next time Mage has to do something.
It was very weird for Ivory because once you become a vampire, your senses are heightened ever so slightly. So humans look differently, they smell differently, they taste very differently. Having her senses replace yours when you were looking at this memory almost
been a while.
reminded you of what you gave up.
It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. You have new information.
Yes. Well, so we need to find out. I mean, it could be a Sabbat. Evidently, she is one of us of some sort.
You said she
Or,
reflective surfaces.
yeah.
That narrows it down a little.
But the very distinctive with the ponytail and everything.
In this version of the verse, of the Sombra joined the Camarilla?
They have just, I think it was last year that they have come to an agreement with what's his name?
Jackson.
Jackson. Thank you. My mind immediately goes to Jackass, so I have.
Well, he's dead in my game, so you know.
Yeah, you know. Venture gonna venture, right?
Yep.
Actually, yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, they are under the you want to join, you got to bring an elder in and fucking replace them.
Gotcha.
Which is how you got Albert Frost to join the Camarilla.
Okay, so Benjamin probably still hasn't had time to get the information on the patients. Is that correct?
No, that'll be in by the end of the week.
Okay. And the information on, did we get anything else on the shovel heads, that what happened there?
The sheriff has swung by in the interim, probably on Saturday night, to let you know that he could not track down the three of them. He did get one of them, and they have been destroyed.
Okay.
He hopes it was the one that got to your doorman, but he can't be sure. He was not within line of sight to see when that happened, who it was. Were
they able to confirm anything? Did they take the blood by any chance? Because you can confirm sire with that.
You can. They took some of their blood to Thompson. There was no sire. There's no single sire. So this was done in some kind of reverie.
They used their bastard right.
But he did confirm that because of whatever's happening at the reverie, all of them are thin bloods.
Thin bloods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there, I can't remember if back in the 80s you had to have a permit to actually protest? Is that a thing?
Some did, some didn't.
We'll say you didn't.
Because that makes it easier for you.
I mean, the identities of the protesters are common knowledge at this point. The news has reported on the deaths and the gang violence and held a memorial
I was just curious
for them.
as to who set up the protest.
Oh, yeah, the news will. I think they'll have attributed it to. Let me see. Who can I blame for this? Hmm. Um, I thought I had. It'll be one of the churches. I
Okay.
thought I had the name of one ready to go. I don't.
Is it one of the churches they know has a hunter association?
Mm, they haven't verified, but it is one of the churches in Kaiser, on the Kaiser border.
Of course it is.
So yeah, there's a lot of antagonization going on about the people in Kaiser and how gang violence has escalated since the biker gangs have taken up residence there.
Well, maybe they should go protest that.
Right?
Anybody else got anything going on they want to?
Said they took the blood already to Thompson. I'm sure he'll get there. The bottom of that. Plus just the lack of sire in general. We already know. I'm just interested in this Lasombra floating around. I think that can't be
If
good.
it is, we don't know for sure.
Potential Lasombra.
But perhaps we should take these pictures over to Otis.
Yeah.
Or at least Colson.
Yep.
And see if they know of anybody.
The police sketch artist is fantastic. It takes him maybe 20 minutes of just getting questions out to you and drawing in front of you. But
Okay.
he gets both of them done. And there's a weird feeling even after drawing the gentleman, and you saw that he drew him out for you. There is still that kind of Barnaby feeling whenever you look into his eyes, like even from the drawing, the artist rendition.
Okay. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's for everybody.
We need to. Who do we know over in there in the Sabat area that we could actually talk to and not, die?
They're both from these anarchs.
Yeah.
It's what's his name?
However, we're gonna be like, with Melvin and never get to talk to them. Anyway,
Well, Frankie did tell you that if you wanted information in Kaiser, and you could stand to be in the presence of a bone gnar,
that's true.
you could always go talk to Jimmy Trashcans.
You won't rip us to pieces immediately?
Yeah, bring him a burger.
Fair enough. All right, let's go talk to the werewolf, I guess.
You want to talk to the werewolf?
I mean, right now it seems to be, if you want to go to Kaiser.
I don't want to.
Though first, I think we should at least tap our end, like go to Otis and
yeah,
not
see if they know anything.
Especially, our suspicions that it might be a Lasombra, because there can't be that many openly floating around if they're on our side. That is.
Tulip might know something. If Kathy, she's really good at information.
She could know something. And like, she looks at the sketch. When we're done with Otis, do you mind if I keep that?
Well, I'm sure they've got copies. She put them on.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought we were
Xerox.
like,
We
sorry,
can do
she
Xerox.
takes a copy, she folds it, and she puts it in her notebook. The next time we have a meeting, I'll make sure to bring it up.
Yeah. I mean, don't necessarily, I mean, Tulip's fine, but other people maybe not tell them exactly why you want to know.
I would do Tulip. She puts her hand her, she puts on her finger, and probably Coulson.
Well, we're going to go talk to Coulson right now, so I think, but.
Yep.
But on the way, she folds it and puts it in like in her notebook.
Yeah. Although
It wouldn't be a bad idea to talk to Marcus.
fair, I'm wondering if his issue is the same.
Yeah.
If his stuff is the same.
Well, I say we should stop by Otis first. Either way, we got to let him know that we've kind of figured out something.
Yeah. Now, you
progress
know his
report.
mind is just on Manny. You know that.
Yeah.
Do we have anything on that? We've had so many other things.
Nothing concrete. Everything else is kind of floated up around it and kind of dropped that and sunk that into the back burner.
Yeah.
Which I find peculiar. But, you know, I'll sit in my little corner.
Oh, I haven't forgotten. It's just I'm not sure where we can go with that. We found out that Erickson actually talked to Reynolds the same night. We know that.
Hmm.
Do you think he knows anything about it?
Erickson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly could not hurt to inquire. Drop it, see what he may or may not know.
I'd like to have a little more. I wonder, is there any way we could find out anything? I don't know.
I'm assuming you're talking
Kathy
on the
know?
way to see Coulson.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do we know where, like, he died?
Where Erickson died?
No, Manny.
No, man, no.
Manny. Yeah, that's a good point.
Somewhere in West Salem, from what Grant Reynolds has been saying.
I mean, the scene of the crime, right?
Do we have an idea of where the scene of the crime is?
West Salem, evidently.
Yeah, somewhere in West Salem.
But, like, somewhere. Okay, so we have no.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a few questions I was going to ask.
Yeah. The people that know West Salem for sure are going to be Erickson and Andreas, and probably the Baron, Yvette Morrison.
Well, he can go suck a popsicle.
You didn't like hanging out with Yvette Morrison?
He can go suck a popsicle.
So mean.
So, if we have no idea where he died, I'm wondering. She looks up at Carl. Can you do that weird thing where you have a string and you follow the string?
Yeah. But I would need it. I think it's too long ago now.
Yeah. It's been. Has it only been a week? How long has it been?
Since Manny died?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Over a month.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he died towards the middle of June, and right now, it is July 8th.
Sure.
So,
I forgot to ask you, Will, was Annabelle at the last Elysium thingy?
Annabelle? Let me see. Who is Annabelle?
The one that we had. Annabelle's my babe.
Oh, the one with the 3 notebooks? Annabelle was not there on Friday.
Interesting. She taps Ivory on the back.
Yeah. Before they left, Ivory would have called to make an appointment.
Okay.
Make sure that they could be seen.
You are the keeper of Elysium, so you are afforded a kind of express pass. So Coulson Coulson asks you if it's for Otis or for him.
Just say it's for Otis.
They're kind of both.
Both, kind of. But if he is busy, I can give the information to you.
Understood. I'll see you when you arrive. He hangs up. You get to the cube of a building. It is about 10 stories tall. Outside, you will see the new signage that calls the building the Estate. It has recently been acquired by a dummy corporation, which all of you know belongs to Otis.
Yeah.
So
that was one other thing they had, was the lead on the that bar. That was the other thing.
Oh yeah, the red eye? No, not the red
Yeah.
eye.
No.
Yeah, the last call.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll climb up to the 10th floor and you will see the spacious there are no offices up here. It is just there's little sections that have been walled off, but there's no real offices up here. And you will see Coulson get up from the desk as the elevator doors open. And off in the corner, you'll see that Dimitri is playing with his raccoon.
Of course. She walks right over.
Yeah. But Coulson steps around and extends his hand out to Karl and Ivory. So, what do you have
Good
for
to
us?
see
You as well.
So, we actually got some confirmation about the memory loss.
Oh, excellent. And he'll take out a notebook and a pen. What do I need to know?
Well, evidently, there are two people who were behind this. One is a mage. The other seems to be one of ours. And she will hand over the pictures.
Oh, her.
Oh, you know her?
Unfortunately.
What does
Who
that
is
mean?
I thought that she was in Seattle, last I checked.
Evidently not.
Yes. Well, this is a turn of events.
That's giving an answer without giving an answer. The question is, who is she?
Let me make a copy of this, Miss Larson.
Of course.
And he'll go over to the copy machine and make a couple copies. And then come back. This is Penelope Bayer.
Okay.
She was a Tremere of some standing.
A Tremere. Oh,
After the events of Vienna, she has taken it upon herself to follow different compass, as it were.
She glances over at Karl.
Have I heard of this one?
No.
All right. Interesting that she has an issue with reflective surfaces.
What was that?
Is that interesting that she's got an issue with the reflecting surfaces, though? If she's hanging out with a different crowd. She might have learned some stuff that she shouldn't be really into, but
Well, she might not have wanted us to be able to see her.
well, that too.
Hmm. I do know that some of us are affected by the curse, as the Lasombra are.
Right. Also,
This might be something of that vein. If she's in town, this is ill-fated. I shudder to think of what could happen if she allies herself to Dr. Stanton.
just thinking that
Oh,
her and Dr. Santa do not need to get together.
and she seems to have already allied herself with this mage, who is not part of the council.
Hmm. Did whoever gave you this information explain what this mage is?
Seemed reluctant to do so, and you didn't press, right?
He had left their group. I don't think she said anything else, right?
No, she said that she would handle him and basically
Yeah.
kind of jump topics before we could dig into what he
She
wasn't.
didn't. She seemed to not want to say much, as we would when one of our members does something.
Right, of course. No,
Yes.
giving you that he is no longer part of the traditions is a huge bit of information, however, so that will narrow it down for us. And that means that I could call on a favor from one of the Council of Nine that I still have acquaintances with.
She did say that they would be taking care of it, but
And they will.
And that she would give us a fall. She'll let us know if anything.
They will.
Like
Yes.
once they resolve it, yeah. Or need help, I guess.
Depending on how strong this gentleman has gotten in the interim since being released from the traditions, it might take a while, but they have the resources to outlast whatever he can throw at them.
well, it seems he's outsourcing. So
Regardless, this is good work, Miss Lawson. You and your coterie should be extremely satisfied with this.
I hope so. I hope this takes care of this matter.
How did you come across a mage in the first place?
Oh, I believe, well, you might not have heard. I told Otis that Thompson actually put us in contact.
Richard does interact with them more regularly than I do.
Yes, they sent a Cult of Ecstasy member over.
Of course they did. It's like sending a cocaine addict into a cocaine factory.
Well, he did his job. I'm used to working with people like him.
I assure you, you are not used to working with people like him.
Well, addicts anyway. So,
Well, if you survive the encounter with your purse intact and your goods still on your person, then that's 2 successes so far that you've reported in.
so since does she see Otis anywhere?
Yep, he's
Okay.
currently sitting at his desk and he's talking to Tulip actually.
Oh,
So
has there been any more information about Manny? She says quietly.
yeah, He's like, unfortunately, with everything else that has popped up, the hunt for Mr. Reynolds is unfortunately not as pressing anymore,
Hmm.
especially after the incident with the shovelheads. If the bishop is pushing old tactics, we've had to.
Do you think that's who's behind it?
No,
Do you think
I-
he's behind it?
I don't think that Reynolds has the forthwit to strike out on his own, as it were. I think he is perfectly happy where he is. The only one that I would put any doubt, if it wasn't the bishop, it would have to be Stanton. He might have a skewed vision of a timetable that the bishop is trying to adhere to and pushing the agenda forward.
Now, when Reynolds was there, he mentioned that White and his crew have gone even off their reservation. Now, whether that was just self-serving or not, I don't know.
It would explain some of the things that we've heard about Tucker White. Apparently he's taken the war with the Free Souls to a new level. Miss Larson, what I'm about to tell you does not leave the confidence of this group.
Of course.
We have unconfirmed rumors that Tucker White is trying to create abominations.
Oh,
What's abominations?
And he'll look at you. Terrible things that should not exist. But it's when one of us takes a werewolf and tries to turn them into one of us.
But
Sounds
why
like
would
this
somebody
is-
do that?
Is this a meteor evil and twisted, even by our kind standards?
well, it would be a powerful minion, if possible.
If they could
to
control it.
self-destruct. Yeah, they tend to.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how much I would know.
Yeah. The issue is that the new Lupine Alpha is militant to the very extent of the word. And so...
Oh, fun.
Say again?
I said, oh, fun.
Yeah. Yes. The interactions that Sheriff Green and his whips have had have left them worse for wear. He has riled up the Lupines to a feverish, almost feral state. We are almost at the point where we don't want to let people out into the wild areas, the outskirts, especially in West Salem. But Otis has also of the mind that anything that happens in West Salem is Yvette's purview.
Right.
And in his, I don't want to say dissent, but in his gear shift after Manny's demise, he is less inclusive towards the Anarchs.
So, and Kathy speaks from the back, and she's been very quiet.
No?
Does that mean that the hunt for who killed Manny is put on hold yet again?
No. Mr. Reynolds still has his name at the top of the red list.
And we're just
Well,
not
he knew
doing
exactly what he was doing
Mhm.
on Friday.
Nope. And his time will come. I'm sure of it. if someone will go after him, I hope that they go after him in numbers.
Something's going on with him, though. Friday seemed like almost a gambit of desperation.
From Reynolds.
Or theater.
Well, it was definitely theater. He was definitely trying to make a show of strength. But somebody who has strength doesn't have to make a show of it.
Correct.
So what was his point in being there? Why did he do that?
He only ever shows up to Elysium's because he knows that we can't do anything about it.
I know.
But this one was
But
different.
then he brought his new childer in on a leash.
Uncalled for.
Into the actual club. Not upstairs.
So what would it take for him to pay the price? And she looks right at him.
Well, there's a blood hunt on him.
If
anybody can get him.
So we just need to find him.
Correct.
And defeat him.
Correct.
So if we did find him, though, we could just give him his name to somebody powerful, and they would go and kill him?
Sure.
They could try anyway. But I feel like there's more behind this, what happened with Manny, than
I think so
just
too.
he was getting revenge for something.
I think so too. If it was to weaken Otis, he has accomplished the direct opposite. And he may not look like much, and he'll kind of motion to Dimitri. But Dimitri is as, if not more formidable than Manny was. Otis is well taken care of. He is protected. He kind of motions to the space. He's like, he's turned this entire building into a fortress, honestly.
I noticed.
It's a side of him that I haven't seen since we had to claim our domain back during Geraldine's princeship. He's fallen back into his Black Panther roots.
Probably not what Reynolds was going for.
Probably
if he
not.
was going for anything.
And at this point, you'll see that Tulip and Otis stand up and they shake hands. And even after shaking hands, like, Otis will come around the desk and kind of give her a hug. And,
Kathy smiles and then kind of looks back down at her book.
yeah. And she'll take notice of the three of you and kind of step over to the side, and Otis comes over. Oh. Miss Larson, Mr. Keller, and Miss Carver. What can I do for the three of you?
Oh, we just had some information on the memory loss. It seems to have at least been explained.
Oh.
And is in the process of being taken care of.
Excellent. I will start to chastise the rest of the venture then for spreading misinformation.
It was... evidently these two people, and she'll show him the pictures.
He'll kind of look at the guy's picture, but he is intent on Penelope's picture. And he'll look at Coulson. Coulson will nod. No, I don't know if Coulson has thanked you for your job, but this is splendid work, Miss Larson.
Thank you. I hear that she's going to be a problem.
Well, I will sit down with John here, and we'll figure out where she is, and then that'll determine what level of problem she's going to be in the future.
Other than that, just still trying to keep the spin going on what happened on Friday.
I don't have many contacts within the news networks or the police department, but I have several Ventru associates that do, so we're working on it.
I do know a little something about PR, so I'm also doing my side of it. But I wanted to drop those photos off, or those pictures off, and let you know that at least this is being taken care of.
Miss Larson, now that you're here, has anyone from the Bootleggers Incorporated come to speak to you?
Bootleggers is, what is that?
Bootleggers was the company that you bought the land from for the Dance Nocturne.
Oh. Recently? No, I don't believe so. I mean, I bought the land from them for the club. Is there something I should know?
I would keep an ear open, and I would let me know immediately if they do reach out to you. John here has discovered that they are the ones that are in the bidding war with the Sunshine Corporation for the last call. And they have recently swooped in under technicality and bought the land and the building for Manny's establishment.
Oh,
What do you mean?
They now own the land and what's left of Sangria.
And why would they want that?
Do we know anything about the company?
I know that when I had to deal with them when I was coming up, they were a front for Marcucci. I don't know if he still has access to them given his current position.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Right. I don't know where he got the money for 2 endeavors. Someone must be funding him.
Well, I did pay them for the land. Yeah, evidently.
It's your from what I remember of the records of sales, yours was not enough to fund what they're doing right now.
No, it was undeveloped.
Right. I didn't want to alarm you. I just wanted you to be aware of what's happening.
Yeah, the receipts on the last call are very interesting.
We didn't think we learned that Erickson was left that place, right?
He was and he wasn't. And
he evidently forgot to go deal with the paperwork?
No. From what I've come to understand, the paperwork that was given to him by Grant Reynolds. So there's no legal standing on a napkin that was written in crayon for the best part of a story that I've heard.
Huh.
Reynolds is jumping ship. Everything that we've heard, every rumor that we've heard recently is separating himself from everything the Sabbat stands for.
Really? Again? Yeah, something's going on with
Figure out
him.
what he needs to do. Jesus, big aside.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Thank you for bringing us this information. I don't want to take any more of your evening away. John, who do
Of
I
course.
have? Who do I have next? And he looks at him and goes, "Unfortunately, you have to deal with Mr. Abbasi." And he looks down and kind of rubs his temples. All right. I'll need the Ella then if I'm going to deal with him. And he's very well. I'll go get that for you. And John will walk all of you to the elevator.
Before, Kylie leaves, she taps Tulip like on the shoulder
Yeah.
and then hands her the picture from the book.
She looks at it. Oh. Oh yeah, I remember her.
And I'm like, that's your copy.
Oh, thanks. I'll show this to Harvey.
Thank you.
Yeah. What is she up to? Why is she back?
She's the. Go ahead.
Oh, I explained everything that they explained. She's working with this mage who apparently has a fascination with spirits. And
Oh.
that fascination now has created a rift that they had to close up. But I figured that you would want this information.
Right.
As because the last time we talked.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
They seem to be behind the memory loss of the ghouls.
Okay. I'll go take this to Marcus then, and then I'll swing by Thompson's and make sure that they have copies, so they can be more prepared in case they see her.
Thank you.
You're also going to swing by there, so that's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good work. And she kind of will squeeze Kathy's hand.
Kathy squeezes it back.
And you get downstairs. Where do you guys want to go next?
I have a favor. And she says it to Ivory. I think
What's that?
for this next little bit, I'm gonna pair off if that's cool with you. I got someone I want to go check in real quick.
Okay.
And she's gonna kind of turn. She's gonna walk to Annabelle's to find
I'm not sure what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Catch up with the later of the night.
Kathy walks off.
Okay.
Sorry. I want to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, and Tulip will just kind of wave at the two of you. Good to see you again.
Always.
She gets into her car and drives off. So where are Ivory and Karl going?
I have no idea.
I think we go back to Marcus. That was one of our next to-do lists.
Well, Tulip's going to handle Marcus. So.
Yeah.
Well, I still want to talk to Marcus.
You always want to talk to him.
Yeah.
You just want to get his recipes.
He provides me interesting topics.
Yeah.
But either way, once we get back to the car, since we were talking about the last call, it reminds me that when we were Kathy had asked me about talking about tracking down Maddie, remember? And we had sort of kind of done that, and I think we need to refresh our memory a bit. And that when we did that tracking, remember we tracked Grant all
the
over
dumpster
the place.
Right.
Hey, you're not here.
No, that was that was a different one.
Yeah, that was a different thing. But we're talking about how we kept circling back, kept getting circled back to the motel or that motel place.
Yeah, when you were hunting Erickson.
Yeah. Erickson. And Grant Reynolds' path kept kind of recircling into that same path.
Yeah.
We found that Michael Voskov the Red, if I can remember writing, was witness to Grant Reynolds giving the fangs of Manny to Market.
Mm.
And Grant came possibly with Erickson.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They
Of course,
met
had
up
to
that
be-
night at the last call.
Yep.
We went and talked to Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, Samantha.
About it, Samantha, and about the last call, and she told us a bunch of stuff
Well, anyway, I want just
about the ownership and
Yeah, we were talking about the last call. We tracked him to the hotel. That's where we found Dr. Standen and the whole free soul thing going sideways.
Mhm.
But also that it led the path of all these people led to Kaiser and back to the last call.
Yeah.
So that territory. Just kind of pieces that we should remember.
Yeah. Well,
and then
you were told that if you want to know anything that's happening in Kaiser, you gotta go talk to that Bonar.
he's trying to send us over.
Yeah. No, I get it. That might be a next place if you think we should prioritize that instead of going to.
I mean, Tulip is gonna hit up Marcus and Thompson, so that frees you up for the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
True.
It's barely 1 o'clock,
So-
so driving up to Kaiser is not gonna be terrible.
And we know how to put it. So we just got word that the new alpha of the werewolves is driving everybody to freakish levels of ferocity.
Mhm.
The Bonars part of that or not part of that, or do we not know?
You're gonna have to find out. Maybe take 2 burgers.
I love going to the flame with werewolves that are freakishly feral.
Yeah. What's the worst that can
Yeah.
happen?
And they were never heard from again. All right.
I mean, we have Billy, but I'm not sure how much he could do.
Slow down.
Maybe.
We ran away. So all right, yeah, show up, go get some burgers, I guess, and go to the Bonar. God,
Yay.
let's see if it furthers the plot.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it? So we'll do
Trashcans. What was his
Yeah.
name?
Jimmy Trashcans.
Jimmy Trashcan.
How dare you? We'll do Kathy first, since that's a simple
Yeah.
hop in, see that Annabelle's still alive. But you see that she and Leslie are still at their apartment, and Leslie lets you in. She kind of meekly goes over. She's like, hi, Annabelle's in her room. You want me to get her?
Yeah, I just wanted to check in on her real quick, make sure
Oh.
she's okay. I didn't see her at the last game.
Oh, yeah, we didn't go. I tried to explain what Elysium is to her, and we even drew like a little comic book of it for her in one of her notebooks. She didn't really want to go. I don't know. I didn't push her, so
It's fine.
But she
She
goes
walks
over,
in.
she knocks on her door. Kathy's here. And she goes, page 8. And you'll hear her flipping through the pages of her notebook. And she, as the door opens, she's just like, Kathy, Nosferatu, Tulip, Nosferatu, Cat, Nosferatu. And she looks up at you. Hi, Kathy. Did you bring your cat?
She did actually. She as she does, because I have it in my bag. She brought it out and she, passes it over because she knows Annabelle loves it.
Yeah.
And she sits next to Annabelle and she's like, "So how have you been?" And she kind of starts looking through her most latest book because she
Yeah.
likes to share those stories.
Yeah, and she's petting the cat and kind of shows you one of her notebooks. And she goes, yeah, Leslie and I, we went over to this really fancy place on Saturday, and she'll flip to it, and you can see this beautiful kind of pen drawing of what looks to be this gorgeous kind of replication of a Parthenon kind of temple. And there's trellises with these big old grapes on them. She's like, yeah, Leslie took us across the bridge, and we went to this fancy place called and she turns the page, and you see that she has a bunch of information on this place called the Wicked and the Vine. And like she says, there's a little line that says hostess, Rebecca, and then waiter, Donald, and then it has like a little thing, and then in parentheses it'll say Baron ? And then it has Yvette Morrison's name, and just a little couple of drawings of crosses. It's been a while. Is Kathy okay with crosses?
I mean, written down probably, but she's more so like if she's like, I want to say like write is fine because she writes and she draws.
Mhm.
But if it would be something that she would have to be in a room with, that would be the most uncomfortable thing for her. She would not be able to physically go into that room.
Yeah.
But like drawings that make her like,
yeah, the urge to turn the page overwhelms you, and you immediately go back to the drawing on the other side of the page just to get rid of the crosses.
yeah. But are the crosses on the page with the page of the Baron?
Yeah. Yeah, so any of the information with the names and everything is on the other side with the crosses.
She looks over and goes, "Hey, Annabelle, can I you let me before, but I don't know because last time we talked about it. Can I borrow this book by chance?"
Oh, what do you need copied? And I'll just draw it on a new paper for you.
Can you draw, and then she points to this page, the back of this page, but without the crosses?
Oh,
Because I love what you did here, and I really want to be able to
yeah,
treasure it.
sure. And she'll grab
And
a
can you
little
also-
a legal pad, and then she'll flip the page and just kind of go over to her desk and write out the information for you.
Thank you. And then you went here with Leslie?
Yeah, on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, we were invited.
But by who?
Huh?
Who are you invited by? Who? I would like to
Oh.
come to a party.
Yeah, I didn't write it down. Sorry. But Leslie can tell you. And then she hands you the paper. She's like, I drew stars instead of crosses just for you.
And of course, she hugs her and kisses her on the top of the head. And she's like, "I love you." She goes to Leslie. Leslie's the seer, right? Just so we're clear.
Yeah, she's outside. She's out in the living room.
And seers are able to see in the past and in the future.
It is weird.
She goes out.
Mhm.
She closes. She's out in the living room, right?
Yep.
And she kind of like, gives Annabelle a hug and gives her a kiss. She's like, "I'll be right back, babes."
Okay.
And she sits next to Leslie.
You can see that she's sitting and she's got a little mug of tea that she's brewed just for the scent.
And so Kathy takes out her pen.
Mhm.
Hey, Leslie. Question.
What's up,
Uh,
Kathy?
Who invited you to the Wicked event, the place, the Wicked and Vine?
Oh, it's, and she kind of starts to grab a little truss of her hair, and she kind of starts to braid it.
As a like nervous energy kind of thing.
Yep.
She goes because she knows her. She'll go and she'll like rub her hand, be like,
Oh, she immediately shoots away from you.
"Sorry, I forgot she doesn't like to be touched."
And she she goes through her whole OCD spiel about.
Yep. There it is.
And it takes her like a good 10, 15 minutes just to kind of like go through her whole process. And she comes back and she's just like, sorry,
My fault. I forgot. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, it's okay.
It's been a while.
Okay. Um,
Um,
yeah, it's not that I was invited. It's that I'm going to be invited.
what do you
Um,
mean?
I had to go because I knew I was supposed to be there, but I also know that I'm not going to be invited until next week.
What do you remember? Do you have an idea of what day next week? I would like to go with you, that's why. Just to keep you safe.
Oh, you were there. You were there. Because it was the Elysium on Friday.
The one that just passed?
No, the one that's coming up.
Do you know did you see anyone else who was there?
Oh yeah, the Primogen were all gathered. That's how I know, because my Primogen asked me to go.
Did anything that you saw maybe happen at this event that is important? Or anything in particular with the Baron?
Not that I know of. I know that I just had to go and kind of make sure that she was okay and that um, she wasn't doing anything wrong, as far as the masquerade is concerned, at least.
And why would she be doing something wrong?
No, Eleanor thinks that um, she might be open to negotiations with the bishop.
Kathy is like really quiet.
And you see that she comes over very trepidatiously, and she kind of scaredly kind of reaches out and grabs her mug and then scurries back over to the kitchen.
I go the opposite. I try to keep her as much space as I can.
But yeah, she's in the little archway that leads into the kitchen, just holding her mug at her chest.
Leslie, can I ask you a question about the ability to see?
I mean, I don't know how well I can answer it, but sure.
Do they normally happen the way you see they do?
Oh
Or is
no,
there things in place that can change it?
everyone's different.
Okay.
Eleanor is, from what I've seen, she has somebody speak through her, and it's always kind of like this very cryptid, um, eclectic, deep voice of some kind of man. So it's really easy to tell when she's having a vision, a prophecy.
Do you think that if I had somebody close to me that I lost, and I'm trying to find them.
Okay.
I don't, do you think that maybe you could be able to help me?
Where were they last seen?
She shakes her head. I don't, somewhere in West Salem. But
Oh.
it would be a huge favor to me. And I know, and the Kathy shrugged her shoulders, I know what favors mean. But I would really need to find this person.
Are they like
who
us?
They're like us. And
Okay.
he might have hurt the person that I care about. So if I gave you a name, do you think you could try?
Sure. I don't know how well names don't really do anything, but I'd give it a try.
And Kathy remembers things that, you know, connected. Can you So we know the persons that we think killed this person, or that it's Grant Reynolds. But I think that there's more to it, and I think there's a second person that might be involved, and that would be someone named Erickson.
Mr.
And I'm
Wood?
wondering if you can. I have my suspicions.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mr. Wood in some time.
When was the last time you saw him?
I think around New Year's when
Oh, it went down.
when we had that big Elysium.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he hasn't been around.
Which is weird, because he normally came around as much as I did, but still. Do you think you could try to get any information that from?
I'll see what
Yes.
happens.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. And as you spend the night with Annabelle, we'll shift over to Ivory and Karl as they arrive in Kaiser. It takes a few blocks, but you will see that there is this old ghetto blaster. It's on the corner of a little, what looks to be kind of convenience store, like a mom and pop convenience store. But outside of it, you'll see that there's this ghetto blaster just pumping out these kind of weird, very hip hoppy disco tracks. There is a cardboard dance floor like the old break dancers had, and you will see in Bermuda shorts.
They weren't old then.
Right. Then but you'll see in Bermuda shorts with a Hawaiian like a loud red and yellow Hawaiian t-shirt, and then a trench coat that has its sleeves ripped off. No shoes. There is this thin kind of wiry frame of a man just doing breakdancing moves.
Okay.
All right. This is our guy. We already get a description of this guy.
You know that he's always on a corner breakdancing. That's the only thing you know about Jimmy Trashcans. That's the easiest way to find him.
All right.
All right. So I guess this is our death.
Maybe. Check.
Read him. Make sure this is at least in the
Scry to
vicinity
soul?
of the area. Yeah.
Ooh. Sure.
Oh, and we brought 2 burgers.
Yeah, smart. That's a smart move. Is there a Ross check for Scry Soul?
There is.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Got an 8.
Nice. Okay. So go ahead and make an intelligence and aspects roll.
Okay.
Versus composure and subterfuge. Damn, baby. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Well.
4.
4. Yeah, I got 6 because of a crit.
Oh. I didn't get any 10s.
That's okay. You can see that his aura is vibrant, so it is alive.
Okay.
Um,
Very alive?
I mean, there's that edge of angst at the very back of every color, but right now he is just fucking enjoying himself. He's happy. He is ecstatic.
Okay. She'll tell Billy to kind of keep an eye out. Be ready to come up quick, but don't be threatening.
Okay. Sure.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do this.
You approach him and he'll look at you and then immediately kind of lower the music, but it's still an undertone. Excuse me, an undertone of like turn the beat around. And he's just kind of like
And
bobbing and weaving.
does he have like a box or a hat or something out? Also, nope.
Nope.
Okay. You wouldn't happen to be Jimmy, would you?
Oh shit! Who told you about me?
Maybe a mutual friend?
I got
Frankie?
mutual friends.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Frankie,
He's-
like Frank Sinatra.
Totally.
Damn, he owes me $5.
he said to
I
bring you
wouldn't
the,
doubt it. He said you like burgers.
I do like burgers. And he holds out his hands. And he takes a big sniff, and then he kind of looks at your direction. He's like, "Oh, you two aren't alive. I see what you brought the burgers." And he just kind of like reaches in and flicks the tomatoes and the lettuce out into the street and just eats the bread and the meat.
like him already.
So we hear you're the person to ask about anything going on around here.
Oh, they're telling you the truth, baby. Whatever you need to know, I know. I hear things, and I can find out things if you are so inclined to pay for that. Those services come at a price.
Burgers price?
He laughs. You're cute, doll, but no. He'll grab the dance floor and hold it up so that the underside is showing you guys. And it just says menu. Underneath it, a la carte. And then it says for $100, police are called. For $200, police and the fire department are called. For $300, a SWAT team is involved. And then for an undisclosed amount, like you just see a little window that says the prize. If you're a big spender, and he just kind of points,
I can be for the right information.
ooh, and then he'll slide it like one of those little books that you would slide open and a little thing would move, a little flap would move. And it just says, instead of a money like number like the other three, it just says grand, and then it says everybody involved. How much are you looking to
Okay.
spend, and what do you want me to do?
Well, I don't know. By grand, he means a grand.
A
Is
grand,
that what you're
yes.
getting? Okay. I don't know if she has a grand in cash on her.
Right?
Well, right now we're just looking for some information. So where does that go on your scale?
Oh, information goes right here, and he points to the spot between the 100 and the 200. So,
All right.
if math serves me correctly, we round up, so it's $200 for information.
Fair.
Yeah, we put it on the number line for you. And he actually will pull a Sharpie from his pocket and draw a little number line and just dash out all of the prices for you. This is the x-axis, and then he'll draw the L shape and just kind of write Y. And this is the y-axis. You want to know the Y, you got to pay the X.
Makes sense.
Right?
Looks like you're a businessman.
I am, in fact, a businessman. Don't let the threads fool you. I know what I'm talking about.
I never do.
And he eats the second burger.
So
Uh,
200, I think she would probably have on her.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, what do you want me to know? What do you want me to find out for yous? You looking for a jilted lover? Some kind of Happy Meal that ran away from you? What do you want?
Well, about a month ago, something went down that was not so great.
Right. All right. I'm
And
following.
we need to know what happened, where it happened, and who was actually behind it.
All right. You're not giving me a lot to go on, so
I know. Do you think you can handle something with a murder?
with a murder.
Yes.
Oh. All right. So that's one less variable that I gotta factor into my equation. So someone was murdered a month ago here in Kaiser?
No, we think
Oh.
he was actually murdered in West Salem, but I think the people responsible might be here.
Oh. All right. Well, we're gonna have to go up to 300 then for travel costs and expenses. But I think I can handle this kind of situation.
All right.
Am I allowed to crack some heads if the need arises?
Well, for your safety, of course.
Okay, for my safety. Now, am I following people of your persuasion or people of my persuasion or in between?
In between. That's a scary prospect, but our persuasion probably.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah. Yeah, 300 is fine.
All right.
I should do it.
So, and she will give the details of that it was Manny who was killed. Grant Reynolds took responsibility for it, but there's more to the story. She will not give suppositions
Yeah.
because she doesn't want him to do that. She will give Grant Reynolds course that night of where he went because they know that.
Mhm.
So that he will have some places to look at.
Okay. And he drops his shorts and just stands there with his dick in the wind and reaches into like an inside pocket on the shorts and pulls out like this little coin purse and he just holds out his hand for the money. I gotta put it in my special jewels box.
Ah,
Are you either one of you doctors? Does this look infected? And he kind of points. And
not a
there's like,
doctor.
all right. And then he'll put the cash in his little coin purse, put it back in his little inside pocket, and then bring his pants back up. All right. I just gotta ask. Sometimes you think you know what you're doing, and then someone talks you into doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and then you gotta pay for it.
Mm.
well aware.
Well,
Do you know?
I didn't think you guys. I thought you guys were pretty healthy.
Oh, we're healthy. Yeah. Look at me. Picture of health. And he starts doing a breakdance move.
So, how long do you think?
Well,
We should come check in.
oh, you don't have to drive up here to check in. I can meet you somewhere.
Okay.
But by Friday, I should have something.
Okay.
That good enough?
Yes.
Excellent.
And she will name a location that is not her club.
Oh, yeah, I know that place. What's a good time? Midnight?
That usually
Is
works.
Elysium usually over by midnight?
Usually, yeah.
That should work.
Excellent. All right. Nice doing business with both of yous.
Good doing business with you.
Pleasure with meeting you.
Yeah.
I look
And
forward to your report.
he raises the volume and goes back to dancing.
Okay then. Get back in the car,
Yep. And
drive away.
Yeah,
She doesn't
Billy.
say anything until they're
Yeah, Billy just
far
kind of
away.
like looks at you in the rearview mirror, like, "What the fuck was that?"
oh no.
Didn't pry too deeply into the whole thing.
That may have been just $300 in the wind. That's fine. But who knows? If he comes up with something, he does.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as you go back to the club and handle the rest of your night, and Kathy is with Annabelle, I think this is a good point to call it for tonight.
Okay.
So, thank you guys for coming back for another episode of Vampire. You got to finally meet Jimmy Trashcans. Look at you.
Yes. And we didn't get our ass kicked in.
You did. No, he's a bone gnawer ragabash. What's he gonna do to you?
Throw
Well,
his
to us,
in
a
our
lot.
general direction by accident.
Yeah, no.
We're not
He
exactly
thought it was
most
funny.
Yeah. But he's not a terrible person. The Anarchs love him. You know, he's a nice guy. Perfect gentleman. But as always, thank you guys for being here. Thank you to the audience for following along with us. Let me give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're into. So we'll start with Carl. What are you up to? Where can people find you online if you want to be found?
Sure. Me and my wife, Dr. Valdez, are still pushing forward our new veterinary clinic up here in Leesburg, Florida. Perfect Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital. You
Nice.
can find us at ppcvh.com and on various social medias, Facebook, Instagram. I think that's it for now.
Yep.
And then, we're hoping to open on the 28th, should everything plans.
Nice. Very nice.
So bring your furry family.
Yeah. Ivory, what are you up to? Where can people find you online if you want to be found?
Oh, I make dice. I sell dice on Etsy. That's Ivory's dice and her hunger dice.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
And if you want some custom dice made for your character, just let me know. And I can also make I don't know, boxes for your dice.
Ooh.
I don't put these on the site.
Like a coffin from my vampire dice?
Yep.
Damn.
My coffin will say, "Rest in peace." Never mind.
Yep.
But
yeah.
I can make them if you want to pay for
Nice.
them. Shipping them is not fun. So
I bet. Kathy, what are you up to? Where can people find you online if you want to be found?
Kathy does not want to be found. Kathy's happy in her little online world.
Perfect. Thank you guys for coming along. As always, we take mental health on the channel very serious. So please know that it is okay to not be okay. And if you need help, there are phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat. If you're watching live, they'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube at your leisure. But just know that there are people out there who want to help you. If you're not in the United States or you don't do well with phone calls or text messages, you can always go to findahelpline.com. That's also in the text chat. But just know that there are people out there who are trained to help you and who want to help you. And that taking that first step is always going to be the scariest, but just know that they're coming out on the other end of that would be fantastic. And just know that you are not alone. You know, there are people out there who want to help you, and just taking that first step is all it really takes for you. So as always, please know that Mondays are for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Tuesdays are either for Scion 1st edition or Werewolf the Wild West. Thursdays are for 7th Sea or Legend of the Five Rings. You can catch me over at McStabber Studios on Wednesdays, where I'm running their Mage Chronicle for the World of Darkness Wednesdays. And then occasionally you can find me on a Friday when I show up to be Kansas City's best looking Baron of Clancy Meetsy. So thank you guys again. We will see you when we see you. Have a good night, everybody. Be safe. Bye.
Bye.